Kia ora everybody and welcome to Insider's Guide. Today we're discussing the ski field with the newest terrain in all of Aotearoa, Cardrona. Cardrona just expanded, which we'll delve into today, but its older terrain is still incredibly entertaining, which we'll discuss as well. Because Cardrona is so complex, this Insider's Guide is split into two parts, and checking out part A before this will vastly improve your comprehension of this part. Now, without wasting any more time, let's finish an Insider's Guide to Ski Resorts, Cardrona. We're going to start by discussing the area on the far looker's right of the resort, Captains. Captains is a very popular area in the morning, but it empties significantly in the afternoon. As such, I typically hit Willows and Valley View, both of which we'll talk about soon, in the morning, and Captains is my afternoon go-to. Exhibition Bowl is sometimes groomed and sometimes not. When it's not for a bit, it can develop moguls, as it is a very high traffic area. It's a cool off-piste area, but not my favorite. There are some baby chutes on the skiers left of Exhibition Bowl. Quartz Ridge is basically just an extension of Exhibition Bowl and offers great lower level freeride. Highway 89 is the most popular run in Captains, as it is a wide, beautiful cruiser. It is a bit flat along the top before it turns here, but there's not much you can do about it. Highway does get crowded from time to time, and when it does, Paradise is a great alternative. Paradise is narrower, but it's also typically groomed. It's much windier and, in my opinion, much more fun than Highway 89. Its entrance is relatively unmarked, which is why it's so popular, but just as you start down the actually pitched part of Highway, head skiers left. If you do take Highway 89, I would recommend staying skiers right to the lower part of Highway, as this lower part of a real journey gets pretty busy for whatever reason. Now, at the end of the flat ridge part of Highway 89, if you continue into the off-piste, there's a small traverse. This traverse first takes you to Gin and Raspberry, which is a good, easy freeride area, or out along the boundary rope to Secret Bowl. Secret Bowl honestly isn't that worth it to me. It's not a big bowl like you would think. It's got lots of obstacles, and Lower Secret is even worse, requiring a hike out. The one good thing you can access from Secret is Tulips. At the crest of the hill, as you're along the boundary, break right to go to Tulips. Tulips has one main chute down from the summit and a much narrower one on the skier's left. There is also a much more open area on the skier's right if you traverse before hitting the crest of the hill. Tulips is much less tracked than Arcadia, but it's a lot of work to get to. At the bottom here is the Captain's Cafe, which is a rare instance of mid-mountain dining. Captain's Cafe serves pizzas and beers. Now let's jump all the way back over to Valley View. Valley View certainly earns its name, offering fantastic views all the way down across the valley. However, it is pretty significantly lower than the rest of the resort, and snow conditions do suffer. The Valley View area never has any lines, and thus is a fantastic area to escape to when the main lifts get busy, especially in mid-morning. I do find the chairs pretty uncomfortable, but maybe that's just me. And without footrests, which can be annoying considering the slow ride. Coming down Comeback Trail, the first trail you'll come across is Mineshaft. As far as I could tell in the past, it was just a small freeride area, but please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, as this depiction on the trail map seems more indicative of a banked slalom than anything. Tail Race is the signature cruiser on this side, as it's super wide, typically relatively empty, and has some terrific rollers to boost. The only downside is that it does get a bit icy from time to time. Prospector is a pretty expansive freeride area that isn't crazy difficult. Although it may not appear so on the trail map, you can get all the way out to Mineshaft, Tail Race, and Prospector from the top of the Valley View lift. Gold Rush is the main groomer in the pod, and thus gets icy the fastest, and also busy at certain points. However, I still find it super fun as it winds and rolls its way down. To access Lower Gold Rush from the upper section, you can take Gunshot, which is pretty steep and icy, or go around, which is less so. Coming down Gunshot, at the unsigned fork, keep right for White Star or left, crossing the bridge, for Gold Rush. Coming along Comeback Trail, keep left for Gold Rush or go right through the tunnel to get to White Star. Not sure why there's no signs in this area, but your first time through, it can be a bit confusing. If you drop off to the skier's right of Gold Rush at any point, you'll find yourself in Creekside, which, similarly to Prospector, is an expansive freeride area. However, Creekside has lots of little hills, gullies, and such, so be careful so you don't get stuck somewhere. Drift is similar, but it's not as expansive. Be careful at the bottom of Drift, as there is a hidden creek crossing that'll sneak up and get you in low snow conditions. The entrance to Drift and Outer Limits are above the White Star Terminal, rendering them inaccessible from Valley View unless you're willing to sidestep up about 20 meters. The easiest way to access them is from All Nations. If you're coming down All Nations and want to get to Gold Rush, you'll need to take this traverse that's shown here too. Now, Outer Limits is a piece of work. It has a flat, narrow traverse in. It takes quite a bit of snow to open and is very technical. It is not a red in comparison to all of the other reds at Cardrona. It is very technical in its lower sections with lots of rocks and such to avoid. The traverse often features multiple creek crossings. It is a great place to catch some powder because its entrance is just an unmarked, easily missed gate on the skier's right on All Nations. Drift has a much more visible entrance. Regardless, those of you who wouldn't ski Drift or Creekside definitely don't ski Outer Limits. Honestly, the same spiel could and should be said for Secret Bowl and Captains, because that area has a ton of obstacles and is very technical too. Jumping back towards the main base, over on the backside from Skyline you have the start of the Soho Basin, called Willows. Now, there is quite the story here, so bear with me. When the McDougal's Chondola was put in, the old quad was taken out and refurbished. It was intended to be installed in an area called Pringles, just below Captains. This area would have offered some awesome new expert terrain, along with making Secret Bowl and Secret Chutes much more lappable. However, after the discovery of some endangered lizard species in the area, the lift was postponed to 2020 and eventually cancelled altogether. In the summer of 2020-21, the lift was instead modified to be installed into Lower Soho Basin in an area now known as the Willows. And so, in 2021, this new expansion opened in Lower Soho, preceding next season's bigger expansion into Soho, Maine. Now, this Willows area is primarily composed of two large bowls. Accessed from Skyline, it's a ton of great open intermediate terrain to explore and maintains some pretty good snow conditions, especially late in the season. For those who know, it's somewhat like the back bowls at Vale, although Willows has more small bumps and ridges. It's an absolutely fantastic area, and any visit to Cardrona is incomplete without at least one run down it. Additionally, Willows is a fantastic area to escape the crowds, as it typically has minimal lift lines and there's plenty of terrain to spread everyone out. The Willows chair, like Valley View, I find quite uncomfortable and is without footrest. Now, of course, the further away from the lift you get, the less touched it is, and on the boundary ropes on both sides you can often find untracked powder several days after a storm. However, the Looker's Left Bowl has a significant traverse out, which you'll want to entirely straight line because the final pitch into the lift terminal is significantly uphill. And if you go all the way to the Looker's Left boundary, you'll find yourself in need of an extremely short hike to get up to the traverse. I honestly don't find this gated terrain on the Looker's Right worth it. There's a groomed short cat track that takes you further out to the Looker's Right Bowl, but it is not groomed all the way down, and the further out you go, the further you have to come back. It is very deceiving. It is not groomed all the way down, so don't be fooled by the upper part. The Looker's Right Bowl is more popular than the left, but both get relatively windswept and equally crusty along their very top portions. Now, for the 2025 season and onward, a new area called Soho Basin is opening. Willows is the lower part of that, and a new 6-pack serves the upper part. Because this is new, I have never skied this area before, but I will do my best to give a general overview of the terrain. And honestly, this map gives the best preview that you can really get, as supplied by the resort itself. This map can be a handy tool for the future, as I'm guessing that the trail map is not going to show all this the same way this map does, so I'll have this linked in the description. Off the top, you can traverse a bit and then boot pack it up to access some solid chutes. Or, if you continue going down the ridge, you'll go past the chutes and get to some awesome bowl skiing. There are two main groomers on the right and left of the lift, some solid intermediates, and lots of good off-piste all in and around the main runs. There's another good bowl on the Looker's right. This groomer over on the Looker's right here is a traverse that comes from White Star and McDougal's, meaning despite how high on the mountain it is, Soho is still accessible out of the base area. This traverse will be super clutch on powder days. To be clear, Willows and Soho are separate areas, and you can't ski between them. I can't give any advice about Soho lift lines yet, but what I can say is that all my experience tells me that Soho is going to get about the same level of lines as Captains. Alright, that about wraps it up for Cardrona. Now go check out one of our other Insider's Guides, all about other resorts in New Zealand, North America, and Europe, and check out Part A if you haven't already. As always, please put any questions down below. Thank you all so much for watching. All my love, I'm out.